98 degrees and sunny here in downtown Phoenix, Arizona. Yeah, it's hot. A beautiful day for baseball here in the middle of April between the Phoenix College Bears and the South Mountain Cougars. An ACC-AC matchup that, however, will not go towards conference play. Midweek series between these two starts today here at Marich Field. Game 2 tomorrow out at South Mountain. And let's get you introduced to the starting lineups today for the Bears. On the other end, offensively, he'll start off with number 1, Bryson Tamboni, their center fielder. Batting second, the left fielder, number 30, Cade Lacey. Batting third, the right fielder, number 4, Manny Morales. In the cleanup spot, the second baseman, number 11, Elias Fiddler. The designated hitter bats fifth, number 9, Chris Billings. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 5, Dylan Maltby. Seventh will be the first baseman, number 25, Josh Cortez. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 22, Cole Snido. And rounding out the order for Phoenix College will be number 2, Kyle Casados. On the offensive end for South Mountain, they'll lead it off with their first baseman, lefty hitting number 11, Sam Christensen. Batting second, the second baseman, number 1, Cord Jackson. In the 3 spot, the designated hitter, number 23, Kenneth Jimenez. In the cleanup spot for the Cougars will be the right fielder, number 19, Dominic Chacon. Batting fifth, the third baseman, number 15, Carter Ritchie. The left fielder will bat sixth, number 27, Jared Galinsky. Batting seventh, the shortstop, number 3, Carson Waslewski. Batting eighth for South Mountain will be the center fielder, number 5, Jaden Miranda. And rounding out the order for the Cougars will be the catcher, number 33, Landon Argabright. The start today for the Bears will be Carson Dunn on the mound, 0 for 2 on the year. This will be his 10th appearance of the season, a 3.92 ERA and 20 2/3 innings of work. Has given up 19 hits on the season, 26 strikeouts compared to just 12 walks. Has mainly been a midweek guy for Phoenix College this season, but hopes to work for a tougher matchup here today. Struggled last time he went up against the South Mountain team just over a month ago, back on March 8th. Had 2 2/3 innings of relief work, trying to bounce back here today. First pitch is popped up behind home plate. Snido retrieving after it near the third base dugout, and it got away from him. Tough job out there to look at the sky and the sun blaring down right on you. Not a single cloud in the sky today, which for a lot of days is beautiful ones, but it has jumped up in a big way with the heat these last couple of days. 95 yesterday, 96 the temperature here for start time here today. Dunn back of the mound and delivers. This one ripped into right field. Manny Morales has to go back, leaps up, and he makes the play. Manny Morales didn't get a great beat on it off of the stroke of the bat, but ended up ranging back in just enough to get the glove on it. It's a quick first out. The defense today for Phoenix College, from left to right on the infield, Dylan Maltby, Kyle Casados, Elias Fiddler, and Josh Cortez. The outfield today, from left to right, Cade Lacey, Bryson Tamboni back, and Manny Morales in right. First pitch is in there for a strike to Cord Jackson. Jackson on the season, hitting .306, one of the top 5 hitters this year. He swings through a piece on the outer half. Jackson, just a sophomore. Lefty hitter from Wyoming, Ontario. 0-2 pitch. Fastball grounded over to second. Fiddler scoops it up and slow throw on to first, able to make it in time for the second out. Fiddler playing second base today. Talking to Coach Scott Schneider coming into this one. Again, a midweek matchup. Even though it's an ACCAC game, these games will not count for conference play records. So really looking at today, it's going to be a lot of different pitchers coming through Phoenix College and a lot of guys moving in and out to see where they're most comfortable going in the last 2 weeks of the season. First pitch is a fastball just low to Kenneth Jimenez. Jimenez is switched out of the catcher and designated hitter spot. He'll likely be the catcher tomorrow. Designated hitting today as the 1-0. Misses low once more. Jimenez, 5'8" sophomore from Nogales, Arizona. Been a solid guy throughout the middle half of this season. He finds himself ahead now, 3-0. Jimenez hitting .384 on the year. 5 guys hitting over .350. 3-0 pitch. Reaches in there for strike one. Jimenez was about to head down to first base. Thought he had ball 4 towards him. Well, come back and scamper back to the batter's box. Done with a 3-1. Misses low. And unable to retire the side in order is done. As Jimenez is able to draw the 5-pitch walk. So with the runner in first, it'll bring up Dominic Chacon. Chacon, the freshman outfielder, another guy hitting north of 300 this year, 317 average. He's come through with 27 RBI on his own. Third best amongst the South Mountain team. That is second best in the ACCAC. The only team better, Central Arizona, top 10 team in the country. Has dominated play. South Mountain trying to reach back up to him. 1-0 pitch misses up high. Done 3-pitch mix guy. We'll see how much of a leash they want to give him. Multiple guys out in the bullpen for Phoenix College. Possibly 6, 7 different guys that'll find their way on the mound today for PC. 2-0 misses up and in. Jimenez at first, not much of a speed threat. He's had his couple stolen bases this season, just one. Down 3-0. Fastball clicks the outer half for strike one. Three one pitch. Breaking ball, back door right on the corner. The count now moves full. Beautiful backdoor curveball right there. Not much that Chacon could do there. We'll see if Dunn can try to get out of this inning. Runners off from first. Swung on and missed from Chacon. Snyder will go out the long way to first. They'll throw a strike onto Josh Cortez at the bag, and that'll retire the side. Dunn, first strikeout of the day, ends off the first frame, and we'll head to the bottom half of the frame for Phoenix College. Trying to add on some offense that have been lackluster this season. First inning for the starter for Phoenix College in Carson Dunn on this scorching hot day here in Phoenix, Arizona. Downtown Phoenix is about 5-10 minutes away from here, and the Bears trying to get themselves back to 500, 20-21 on the year. They'll look to have a lineup that will switch up a lot today, but the top three will be much of the same. Bryson Tamboni, Cade Lacey, and Manny Morales due up today here in the first inning. They'll go up against number 10, the right-hander, Raul Garzar. And Garzar this season, 6-1 on the year. This will be his 11th appearance, 9th start of the season, a 3.21 ERA. A staggering 10.32 strikeouts per 9 innings this season. The fastball is going to be very lively on the inner half. Be a tough task for the righty-heavy lineup that is PC. First pitch to Bryson Tamboni. And Tamboni takes there for strike one. Tamboni on the year missed almost a month of play due to injury. Is finally back and trying to help his average total out, just hitting 174 on the year. Second pitch touches the zone there. Garzar trying to end this quick first AB, goes up the ladder with the fastball and misses for ball one. Tamboni, Lacey, Morales. A little bit of a different setup, midweek setup for Scott Schneider's lineup today. We'll see how they pan out. It's the flame-throwing righty. Tamboni looks at a possible cutter up and in. The count moves back even at 2-2. Tamboni's worth the count full. Trying to work here against Garzar. Goes back to, I believe, was an off-speed pitch, trying to go up the ladder. The cutter, which is coming out of the handle, a little bit of shake, but not quite falling in the zone. The count now moves full. Long look in from Garzar. And he delivers. Fastball, grounded, chopper over to third. Carter Ritchie on 2 hops, throws it way just barely into the glove of Sam Christensen. That one thought it got away from Ritchie, and Christensen makes an incredible play and comes back down on the bag for the first out. Ritchie got it on a tall hop coming towards him. Took about a half a step and I think stumbled a little bit trying to get it to first. And I thought that one might have been going away down the right field line, but Christensen makes an incredible play for the first out. This brings up Cade Lacey. His fastball catches the corner, 4-strike one. Lacey, one of the best average hitters on the season, hitting .312. As this one is grounded foul. Beautiful play behind the backstop from Manny Morales, who chopped that one into his hands. Lacey started off the season off the bench. Has been a consistent guy at the left field spot. When Tamboni was out, found a way to get himself consistently in the lineup. 0-2 is driven foul. Razor is dominant with the fastball so far. Trying to see if it's a cutter or a slider mix that he's trying to add to it. Has not found the break that's been needed. Still had here 0-2. Fastball chopped right in front of the mound. It's going to go past the mound to Ritchie. Strong throw on the run is in time. Right after a suspect play from the third baseman, and Ritchie makes a one-handed snag to throw on to first. And a couple of tough plays for the third baseman, but able to come through for both of them. That's Wick's first 2 outs here in the bottom half of the frame. It's going to go 5-3, 5-3 in the book, but much of a different story for Ritchie on those 2 ground balls. It'll bring up the right fielder and Manny Morales. There's the cutter. Swung on and missed from Morales. That's been the bite I think he was trying to get earlier. Gave it a couple times to Tamboni up in the top of the zone, but couldn't get the late break. Goes back to the fastball. Beautifully spotted in the outer half. 3 straight batters, and Razor has found himself ahead here 0-2, trying to retire the side in order. That one just off the corner there. Beautiful pitch. The infield was headed to the dugout after that one, but Morales with a better take. Moves the count to 1-2. Goes back to the cutter, and Morales keeps himself alive, just barely chopping at that one, and fouls it straight back. Flies Fiddler on deck. If we get there, Chris Billings and Dylan Maltby behind him. Count still 1-2. Razor with the pitch. Fastball right down the gullet. And Morales just barely gets a nick of it, was behind it, and fouls it off once more. It's a dangerous combination. Razor, when he really gets that cutter working, a tough pitch to work up against, especially with his tunneling fastball. 5th pitch of the AB. Razor thought he had it, just barely missed up and in. Count moves back even at 2s. Seventh pitch of the AB. Fastball grounded over to short. Waslewski gets past his glove and into left field. We'll see what they officially call it. I think it should be an error working into the hole for Waslewski. By the way, a 2-out base runner for Phoenix College. So we'll call it an infield single for Manny Morales. No error to Waslewski is the official calling from the dugout. Still 2 outs, runner at first here. Razor will have to come out of the stretch. First pitch to Elias Fiddler. Fastball misses out. Fiddler this season, one of the guys that just demolished baseballs. A transfer from Lamar College, and .339 on this season. 3 home runs to his total as well. 22 RBIs, named for 3rd on the team. Little pitch, cut on and missed. They'll check back at first. Morales will have to dive back, and he's just barely in time. Landon Argerbright behind home plate. Thought he had Manny Morales entirely leaning towards second base. Morales will get that shirt a little dirty and able to reach back safely. Still count at 1-1. 2 gone here. First real threat of the game for either side. That one gets away. Fastball Should have been a play made by Arterbright there, but just kind of let it go by his glove, and Morales will head to second. I heard it, Coach Easton was reaching out to his catcher. What happened there? You guys good setting it up here. Got runner in scoring position. One of the best power hitters for Phoenix College this season. 2-1, popped up, shallow right field. Coming is Chacon, and he makes the play. Grays are able to work around the 2-out single for Manny Morales, and that'll end the first frame. We'll head to the second, still knotted up at 0. Carson Dunn back at the mound for his second inning of work. We mentioned it's going to be a large relief day today for Phoenix College. Still 2 guys up in the bullpen for Scott Schneider's squad. Dunn, solid first inning. Got a fly out to right, ground out to second for walking on 5 pitches to Kenneth Jimenez, but able to strike out Dominic Chacon. 6-pitch AB. Able to end the inning, give it back off to his offense. On the other end, Grays are a solid first inning of his own. Dunn will match up here against Carter Ritchie as this one grounded right back up the middle and into center field. Ritchie didn't get a lot on it, but just perfectly placed right back up the middle, and a quick leadoff base runner here for the Cougars. So a little bit of discussion out of the mound, setting up, working out of the stretch here for Dunn. It'll bring up the left fielder in Jared Galinsky. Galinsky this season trying to find his consistency at the plate. The first pitch is a fastball missed up and in. The sophomore hitting .283. Solid mark out of the middle of the order. .533 slugging percentage, the biggest thing for him. He's been dominant at the plate. 11 RBI on the year. 2 different home runs. Another one misses in. But home run heavy team this season for South Mountain. 34 of them. Top 3 in the ACCAC. Carter Ritchie, who we saw ground one back up the middle, has a ACCAC best 11 on the year. Breaking ball in there for strike 1. Dunn, we mentioned, mainly a midweek guy, trying to find some more consistent competition up against some of the conference opponents. He's struggled against ACCAC opponents this season as he gets Galinsky to pop it up, shallow right field, Morales under it, and he makes the play. That one way high up in the sky, especially with not many clouds to be able to shade you and the sun going straight in your eyes. The plays out in the outfield very well be tough ones today. We saw it just an inning ago. Cole Style got kind of tied up a little bit in a ball right at the third base dugout. See how that becomes a factor later here today. So with a 1 out, bring up Carson Waslewski. First pitch, runner is off from first. Snido, a strong throw down to Fiddler. Gets into the glove of Fiddler, and no slide ends up coming from Ritchie, and he's going to be out of the bag. An odd play there. I think Ritchie thought the throw wasn't even coming. He went straight into the bag, which ended up being straight into the glove of Fiddler. And he strikes him down to the second out. Ritchie taking his time getting back to the dugout. The pitch was a strike. As that one back up and in. Moves the count even at 1-1. Here to Waslewski. Waslewski this season hitting .342. Adds 31 RBI to his total. He is a consistent guy, just really smoking balls right over the shortstop and second baseman. 2-1 pitch is flared straight back as the bat goes flying and almost hits assistant coach. I believe that was Hunter. Yeah, it was Hunter running down the line there. A couple of players went running down the left field line like they're going to the bullpen. And think he may need a little bit of Tiger stick to add on to that one. He's going to ask for it. Grip, pine tar, gloves, all three, and somehow still goes flying out. He'll get a little more Tiger stick to the end of his bat. Haven't seen that one in a while. Full-on projectile going out of the hands of Carson Waslewski there. It'll take a moment to get reset. And the pitch was a foul ball straight back. It evens the count back at 2-2. After giving up the leadoff single to Ritchie, Dunn trying to finish the inning in order. Breaking ball just misses in, and the count moves full. That curveball, really loopy action so far from Dunn. Definitely needs to find his spots with that one. 3-2 pitch. Fastball right back up the middle and into center field for base hit. Long run here for Bryson Tamboni, and Waslewski may stretch into a double. He's going to try. Throw comes in and is in time. Tamboni with a beautiful throw. Fiddler wasn't quite matched up well at the bag, but he takes the long route to get the tag put on Waslewski. And he gives up 2 hits, does Carson Dunn, but ends up having both of them struck down in the base paths. And on to the bottom half of the second. Those starters, strong starts to their names. We'll see if Phoenix College can find some offense with the middle part of the rower when we come back. Bottom of the second, Phoenix College and South Mountain. Midweek matchup here in the ACCAC. Tied at nada, heading to the bottom half of the second. Chris Billings gets a good hop that just barely gets away the glove of Jackson at second. And there's going to be no throw to the bag. What an odd one. Billings on top of that one entirely. Gets a couple hops and right at the lip. Must have hit a rock or something and went skyrocketing. Lucky enough that Jackson even kept it in his glove. Screws a little bit away from him, and Billings will somehow out of that get a leadoff base hit. They'll bring it with the third baseman in Dylan Maltby. Maltby will show bunt and pulls back as the fastball misses high. Let's look at the defense today for South Mountain. Ritchie at third, a couple big plays in that first inning. Waslewski at short, Jackson at second, Christensen at first. The outfield today, Glinsky, Miranda, and Chacon working from left to right. Battery mate today for Grazar is Argabright. Fastball misses in. There's been a distinct difference so far, even just a couple ABs for Raul Grazar between his setup work and windup versus the stretch. Missing a lot more to his arm side so far here working out of the stretch. Maltby will show bunt once more. Pulls back again. The fastball misses low, and Argabright's going to go out and have a conversation with his starter. Maltby, the sophomore from Anchorage, Alaska, getting the head a little bit of the starter, and Grazar. Mentioned just a distinct difference between how he's set up really out of the windup versus the stretch. Does not seem like he's really getting as deep into his hip hinge as needed. It's Billings, Maltby, and Cortez due up here in the second inning. Well, Snyder in the 8th spot and Kyle Casados in the 9. Hoping to see a long inning here. 3-0 pitch. Catches the outer black for strike one. Long look back at first for Grazar. Maltby's going to show bunt here again. Billings is off. We'll take a hack there from Maltby. Billings is off to second, and he is cut down trying to steal the bag. Beautiful throw from Landon Argabright behind home plate. And right after a leadoff single, a lucky one of that for Chris Billings. And he struck down just not quite a full at-bat later. It was a swinging strike. It moves the count now full. A lot better of a spot here for Grazar back within this AB. Payoff pitch is flared back into the glove of Cord Jackson at second. And somehow, after all that wackiness for the first two plate appearances, it's a quick 2-up, 2-down for all Grazar. So the lineup will bring up Josh Cortez. Cortez, the first baseman today. Working mainly out of the bench spot, just hitting 154 this season. He takes a big hack at the first pitch. Still looking for his first extra base hit on the year is the sophomore. Let's see if he can come through with one. Trying to find some kind of a spark here in the early innings for Phoenix College. 0-1, beautifully spotted on the black for Grazar. The starter just a strike away from getting through another inning. 1-2-3. Cortez grounds his one right back up the middle. Long run here for Waslewski. Throw in time to first for the final out. Not a way to do it, but it's 3-up, 3-down nonetheless for Raul Grazar. And it'll head to the third. Pitchers duel to start off the day for the Cougars and the Bears. When we come back, Carson Dunn still back at the mound for Phoenix College. Just 30 minutes to get us through 2 innings here as we head to the third. Carson Dunn back at the mound for the 3rd inning of his start. The showing bunt there is Jaden Miranda. 3 hits in the last frame for both sides, and somehow every single runner on the base paths have gotten themselves out on their own. A couple rundowns that we saw, a couple stolen bases as well. And the guys finding well to get on bases, or rather staying on it. This one is grounded hard, fouled on the 3rd base line. (2-1) and swung on and missed. Dunn's been fastball heavy, so has Garazar to start off the day. Kind of been a 2-pitch mix that we've seen from both guys. It just whether or not the off-speed can find the zone well. 2-2 pitch. Fastball fouled away. (2-2). Breaking ball. Just out in front of it once again was Miranda, and it's grounded foul. Lefty up in the bullpen for Phoenix College. What I can see, believe it's Hitsuro Hayashi out there in the pen. Another righty up there as well. As 2-2 misses inside. That's been kind of the trouble so far for Dunn. A lot of long ABs. The walk to Jimenez, 6 pitches. A single from Carson Waslewski, 7. Trying to work another full count pitch here. This one popped. Fouled on the 3rd baseline. Maltby and Casados running after it. Casados calls everybody off, and he makes the play. Oh, nope, they're going to call it foul. Casados had it in his glove, then worked on the transfer from my vantage point, but they ended up calling it foul. That's a tough one there. Casados had it in his glove, went back to his arm, or his throwing arm, rather. Not sure if he tried to pull it out or if it just didn't fully settle in his glove. I ended up calling it a foul ball. So some new life here for Jaden Miranda, and we'll do the full count pitch once more. Goes back to the fastball and goes straight away. Swinging straight through it is Miranda, and it's the 2nd strikeout of the day for Dunn. Talking about some guts there on a 3-2, going fastball right down the gullet. Tries to test Miranda, and he doesn't find a way to ace it. I'm going to bring up the 9-hole hitter, the catcher Landon Argabright. We'll see if the 9 spot can bring some life here for the Cougars. Beautiful breaking ball. Just misses low. Dunn thought he had it. (1-0) pitch is flared. Shallow right field. Going on to it is Fiddler. A little range and back, and he'll make the play. I'll flip back to Morales, as Morales was deep out there in right field. No chance for him to come on and grab it without at least a diving attempt. And Fiddler able to make an off-balance play for the 2nd out. And that might be the day for Carson Dunn, and it will be. Schneider will reach out to the lefty in the bullpen. And a solid day for the starter and Carson Dunn. Able to come through. We'll get you his line when we come back. As he'll exit the 3rd inning of his work. Another change here for Scott Schneider's team. We'll be right back. Cade Cunningham will be the new pitcher here for Phoenix College. 2 down here in the top half of the 3rd inning. Strong start for Carson Dunn. First pitch is fouled straight back as we're back to the top of the lineup for the Cougars. Sam Christensen at the plate. A really pull side guy this season. More to the right field line and right center gap. 0 for 1 on the day as he lines that one straight into the glove of Cortez. Cortez barely sees the ball go into his glove, but hey, he got it neither way. So that'll end the top half of the 3rd. Cunningham comes in, throws 2 pitches, and gets an out. We'll head to the bottom half of the frame. Phoenix College 8-9-1 when we come back. Zeros as we head to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Kyle Snido, Kyle Casados, and Bryson Tamboni due up here for the Bears. Raul Grazar back to the mound in his 3rd inning of work. As first pitch, fastball, grounded right back up the middle. Jackson boots it a little bit after get back up quickly, and he throws on to first in time. A quick first pitch, first out for Grazar. I'll now see the 9 spot in the shortstop in Kyle Casados. First pitch is the ball to Casados. Casados this season into the righty's batter's box, hitting just .206 on the year. Struggling offense of group this season for Phoenix College. Just have a home run, found it middle of the way of this season. Has been kind of the biggest defensive piece to this team. Missed about 3 weeks of play between mid-March and really just about a couple weeks ago to set himself up. 1-1 pitch is grounded over to short. Waslewski on a hop. Long throw is in there for the out. Couple ground outs for Grazar, and right after, I think, really living heavily on trying to get out in front of counts, allowing hitters to find themselves a little more out in front, and a couple ground outs doing the job. So flip the lineup card now over back to Bryson Tamboni. Tamboni also had a ground out to his name, an odd one that put it around a little bit from Carter Ritchie at 3rd. The first frame, a high chopper. Ritchie Stumbled a little bit trying to throw onto first, and Sam Christensen at the bag at first had to make a spectacular play just to get it back down. This one lined into right. Chacon to his right, and he makes the play for the final out. Quick 1, 2, 3, just 8 pitches in that inning for Raul Garezar, and we head to the fourth. Still knotted up at 0. Cunningham back to the mound here for Phoenix College. Heading to the top of the fourth. Still scoreless. Record Jackson, Kenneth Jimenez, and Dominic Chacon due up here in the frame. First pitch from Cunningham. Lefty misses outside. Cunningham, not a consistent guy out of the bullpen. Again, Scott Schneider trying to work some more guys. This one is laced out to right in a beautiful sliding play by Manny Morales. That's a quick first out here in the fourth. Morales, a long run, playing pretty deep out there in right. Had to come on, working to his left, and just barely able to get to it as he slid into the grass for the first out. Going back to Cunningham, still haven't really had the opportunity to introduce him. He's had 3 pitches and 2 outs to his name so far. Cunningham, this is his 7th appearance on the year, as this one's again lined straight into the glove of Kyle Casados. And man, I guess Cunningham doesn't really want me to give an introduction to this one. Feeding fastballs right over the heart of the plate. And South Mountain's just hitting into their own outs here so far. Line out to the first baseman and Cortez in the third. A fly out down the right field line to Morales. And then there, a line out straight into the glove of Casados. That one way inside and ends up hitting him. And Dominic Chacon, after striking out in the first frame, will reach base here with 2 outs. First hits batsman of the day for either side. They'll bring up a piece that Phoenix College does not like to see too much this season. Carter Ritchie has dominated the Bears so far this year, hitting over 600 up against Phoenix College on the year. 7 different extra base hits. Cunningham working to his total. 5 1/3 innings of work coming into today, an 8.44 ERA. Fastball, first pitch misses out. It's the runner at first in Chacon. Chacon this season, see how much of a speed threat he can be. Does have 5 stolen bases to his name. Has not been caught stealing once this year. 1-0, just barely shot foul. Ritchie tried to hold up on the check swing, but just barely nicks the end cap. Started today for Phoenix College, Carson Dunn. able to bounce back a little bit after a rough last 2 outings. Goes 2 2/3 innings, does not give up a run, 2 hits, 1 walk compared to 2 strikeouts. 1-1, popped, foul down the first baseline. Cortez going after it, and it just drops out of the reach of his glove. A tough play. Willie Mays' style of catch it would have had to have been going down that right field line. And Richie stays alive here in the count. I mentioned Richie this season, one of the most consistent hitters. Had an 8-game hitting streak back in early March. Has found his way for a couple 3-game hitting streaks as well. 3 hits in the last outing up against on April 9th against Arizona Western. He flares this one down the right field line. Morales able to track back towards it, and he makes the play. Solid pitcher's duel here at Martin Pug Marich Field. We'll head to the bottom half of the 4th. Still scoreless, just 3 hits combined to the both sides. Call to the bullpen for head coach Easton for the South Mountain Cougars. Looking against the heart of the order here for Phoenix College. South Mountain will go to the right-hander Alex Arias-Calvillo. A lot of east-west action you're going to see out of the right-hander. Kind of a submarine three-quarters action guy. And he shows it off in the first pitch. Gets Lacey to pop it up shallow right field. And Jackson makes the play for the first out. Calvillo this season has not topped 80. However, a 1.40 ERA, 2-2 on this season, and 25 2/3 innings of work. And last time these two teams faced off, and Calvillo got the opportunity to face Phoenix College, has been dominant. First time they matched up back on February 15th. Complete game, just 1 run allowed in 7 innings of work. Gave up just 3 hits. Had a no-hitter going through 6 innings. Gave up 3 hits in that final frame along with that 1 run. He was a dominant piece, and just seems to be no way that Phoenix College has been able to answer back to him. 5 strikeouts in that first appearance, and then added that up to a little bit of a different matchup in the second one. Just 1 strikeout to his name, 1 walk as well. Gave up 2 runs in 2 innings of work, rather 4 innings of work. That's set up to where Calvillo is bounced back, going back and forth. Let's see if Phoenix College can try to work to the slide action righty. That one fouled out for Morales. Count at 1-2. Still not seen a hit for either side since the second frame. And that one skips its way into the dirt. Count back even at 2s. There's a lefty at least up and moving in the bullpen for Phoenix College. Nobody throwing at the moment as Morales fouls that one straight back in and out of the glove, Arger right behind home plate. Started today for Raul Garezar. Went 3 innings of work, gave up just 2 hits. Not a single walk, nor a strikeout to his name. high leverage fastball. Was able to get guys a little bit behind it. This one lined down the left field line and down for a base hit. Beautiful move there from Galinski to be able to cut it off. Morales is going to try to stretch the arm of Galinski, and a slide into second safely. Morales puts on the afterburners and stretches what normally would be a regular single into a double. And it's the first runner in scoring position today for either side. To correct myself there, Morales actually the only guy that has reached extra bases here for Phoenix College. Singled back in the first and ended up finding his way to second and into scoring position after a wild pitch that got away from Argabright. So still one out, runner at second, and a chance here to break the scoreless tie for Elias Fiddler. As Fiddler checks his swing there, they check down to second, but Fiddler able to hold back, and it's ball one. Infield playing slightly pull side here for Fiddler as the 1-0. Breaking ball just misses low. First baseman and Christensen not even thinking about that right field line. And it's honestly the setup you see with kind of a more pitchability righty in Calvillo. A lot of guys out in front of it, chopping it foul, etc. 2-0 pitch, flared into center field, and that one's going to get down for a base hit. Morales is going to be stopped at third as a strong throw comes in from Jaden Miranda. And a move to runners on the corners here with one out. That one just got a little bit too much of its way into center field. Miranda with a strong throw out at that center field spot, and it keeps Morales held up at third. First time we've seen back-to-back guys get on the base paths today for either side. It's a chance here for the Bears to break this scoreless tie. Runner at third is Morales. Fiddler here caught in between first and second. That one's going to be a bad base running error. Still working it down. Cavillo is going to tag out Fiddler. And that's a tough one to deal with. Fiddler, not a smart decision there out at first. Entirely stopped up in between first and second. And it leads to the second out of the inning. So it'll be up to Chris Billings now. Forced to somehow get a base hit, cannot work a ground ball. That one ends up hitting him. And Billings didn't even flinch at that one, hit just north of his knee. And essentially changed up the spot here, still first and third with two outs. I'll bring up Dylan Maltby. Maltby today 0 for 1. Lined one straight back up in the middle, but a solid play that just barely skewed by into the glove of Cord Jackson. And Maltby behind there on that one, fouls it straight back. All right, third is Manny Morales. Started off the inning of action with a one-out double down the left field line. Fiddler singled, but not enough to bring home Morales. Was caught in between first and second, sleeping, and then Fiddler was caught on the base paths. Billings hit by a pitch, and Maltby trying to come through here with two outs, down 0-2. Long look back at third for Calvillo. He delivers fastball on the outer half for strike three. This one still scoreless through four. And Alex Urias Calvillo gets through the jam, and we'll head to the fifth. Not up at 4 as we head to the top half of the 5th inning. Incredible job by Alex Urias-Calvillo to get out of this last frame as Chris Billings, the new pitcher into the ballgame for Phoenix College, skips one 5 feet short of home plate and ends up dinging off the foul pole, or excuse me, not the foul pole, the pole that we've seen here every single night coming into these games as 1-0 pitch just north of the zone. Billings has struggled this season at the mound. The lefty at 9 2/3 innings of work has an 11.17 ERA. Strong fastball to the left side. Just how to find the zone has been the question mark for Billings this season. 13 strikeouts compared to a walk total has been a bigger piece this season for Phoenix College. That pitch just on the inner half, 4-strike-1. Billings this season, 14 walks compared to 13 strikeouts. And there's another one. 15th walk of the season for Billings, and Jared Galinsky able to reach first with the leadoff 6-pitch walk. Bullpen day for the rest of this one here for Phoenix College. Carson Dunn, a strong 2 2/3 innings of work to start off the day. Just gave up 2 hits, 2 strikeouts. Cade Cunningham came in and shut the door for an inning and third of his own. Gave up just 1 base runner, hit by a pitch. Not a run, not a hit to his name either. 5 of the last 6 pitches have been balls, and make it another one. Billings, not a lot of time to warm up. The original designated hitter here today, struggling to find momentum at the mound. Count now 3-0. Apologies for the times flashing on your screen. Trying to set up a couple things with our camera equipment. Count at 3-0. Billings back to the fastball, and the 2-seam finds its way in there for strike 1. There's now a righty at the mound in the bullpen for Phoenix College. Mentioned coming into the day, a midweek style, even though it's an ACCAC game, not counting for conference play. And Coach Scott Schneider really trying to get as many guys into the lineup, as many guys onto the mound as possible to give them chances, really kind of set themselves up for a weekend matchup up against Mesa. Billings with back-to-back walks to Galinsky and Waslewski will now look at the bottom third of the order. Jaden Miranda, center fielder here today, struck out to lead off the third. Phoenix College, after a game here today, will head out to South Mountain tomorrow and back for a weekend series Friday, Saturday at Mesa on Friday, here at home on Saturday. As Billings tries to put it down, does the runner in Miranda. They'll pick back to second, and the runner is out. Jared Galinsky trying to get too much off the bag at second. Miranda unable to put down the bunt. Another base runner caught in between the bag. So a much needed first out for Chris Billings. Now leaves it with just a runner at first and Miranda to go after. Miranda shows bunt once more and pulls back. Style thought about a throw over to first to try to cut down Waslewski, but enough to the bag to where you want to take the chance. Maltby at third and on the grass, possibly looking for another bunt. Miranda swings away there and fouls it off on the 2-0 pitch. Down the right field line, foul. Outfield playing pretty deep here for Miranda. Not too much wind, slightly moving in here if anything. Left fielder and Lacey all the way out, maybe 20 feet in front of the wall. 2-1 pitch, showing bunt once more is Miranda. And again, he pulls it back as Billings unable to find the zone. Just 3 strikes and 3 at-bats. 3-1 pitch, misses upstairs. And it's 3 straight walks for Billings. Schneider's going to come out, and that'll be the quick day for Billings. Unable to record an out does the lefty. And we'll head to a break here on the Phoenix College YouTube page. Runners at first and second here with 2 outs. With 1 out, rather. With a new pitcher coming to the game. Chris Billings unable to retire an out here in the top of the 5th inning. 3 straight walks. Jared Galinsky ends up getting cut down between second and third for a much-needed first out. Amari Soto is the new pitcher here for Phoenix College. A tough spot here. Scoreless through 4+ innings of work. Both sides have only had an opportunity here or there to try to break it open. This is the biggest one of the day for South Mountain. Landon Argabright. That one gets away from Snido. A tough throw there from Soto, and it moves both runners up 90 feet further. So it takes away the double play ball. And now the infield is in here for the Bears. Argabright 0 for 1 on the day. Had a little flare to Elias Filler back in the third. 2-0 pitch way inside. And again, we've only seen 3 strikes here in the top half of the fifth. Billings up against 3 batters, walked all 3. And Soto now down 3-0 here to the 9-hole hitter. That one just barely reaches on the inner half. Argabright didn't think so and was third the way headed down the first base line. But he'll come back into the righty's batter's box. The count moves to 3-1. Soto struggled this season, just an inning and 2/3 in 3 appearances, a 10.80 ERA. 3-1, breaking ball misses low for ball 4. A spot here at the top half of the order for South Mountain, not only to break the scoreless tie, but maybe break it entirely open. Bases loaded, 1 out, and it'll bring up the first baseman and Sam Christensen. We're going to see a courtesy runner for the catcher in Argabright. Over there at first is number 30, Brian Leone. First pitch to Christensen, misses low. And Soto, just like Billings, struggling to find the zone. Nobody up in the bullpen at the moment for Phoenix College. It was going to be a bullpen style of day after Carson Dunn just pulled 2 2/3 innings into his day. A strong start, though, nonetheless. Schneider going back to the deeper part of his bullpens, and Soto struggling to find the zone once more. Bases loaded and 1 out. No pitcher themselves has retired. A single out here in the 5th. 2-0 misses outside for ball 3. And Soto in jeopardy of giving the lead to South Mountain after what was a strong pitcher's duel really through the first 4 innings of this one. Count at 3-0. Carson Waslewski at third, Miranda at second. Argabright switched in for Leone at first and able to find the zone just on the outer half with Soto for strike 1. No chance Christensen had the green light there. Both relievers here in this inning have struggled immensely to find the zone. Three 3-1, misses low for ball 4, and South Mountain strikes first. It's 1-0. Schneider will head back to the mound and talk with Soto here. They'll send a lefty at least going running out there. That's Cade Cunningham. Maybe trying to talk to the guys out there in the bullpen. That's actually going to be the day. Schneider likely going to go to somebody cold here as Soto really struggling. 2 straight walks, and he walks home a run. It's 1-0 South Mountain here in the top half of the 5th. Third pitcher of the inning here for Phoenix College, trying to keep this game manageable. Gave up the lead to start off the frame after 5 straight walks between the reliever and Chris Billings and Amari Soto. They'll bring in now Reagan Wangler with bases loaded and just one out for Cord Jackson. Pitch fastball misses way inside. I'll see how quickly Wangler can honestly get warmed up here. Didn't have a bunch of time to get himself set. As 2 different relievers unable to get more than just one out here in the 5th frame for Phoenix College. Infield is in at the corners as this one is pop foul and out of play down the left field line. Maltby and Cortez at the corner spot, still a little inside the bag at third and first. The shortstop and Casanos and second baseman and fielder playing normal double play depth, possibly to get us out of the inning here for Phoenix College. Just one swing of the bat. Count even at 1-1. Pitch here to Jackson. That one way up and out. Snido had to get out of the crouch just to get to that one. Struggles to put a ball in the zone. Any ball in the zone is somewhat of a rarity here in this inning. Still not a single hit here in this frame for South Mountain. Count at 2-1. This one under it is Jackson. Flares it out to right. Manny Morales makes the play. At third is Waslewski. Sumi Miranda coming home. He'll score. Throw will go to third, and it's cut off. So Brian Leone in for Argerbright, moves into third. Staying at first is Christensen. A sac fly for Cord Jackson. Makes it a 2-0 ball game. To bring up the 3-hole hitter in Kenneth Jimenez, designated hitter today. 0 for 1, walked back in the first frame, then lined out the shortstop and Casados in the 4th. Chops this one over to third. Maltby, a lot of time, throws on to first, and that'll end the inning. 5 walks, but somehow Phoenix College makes it manageable and keeps it to a close ball game. South Mountain strands 2 as we'll head to the bottom half of the 5th. The Cougars with a 2-0 lead. South Mountain breaks the scoreless tie in the top half of the 5th inning. 5 walks and 3 different pitchers for Phoenix College. Has to do the job to be able to get out of the frame, but luckily enough, they do the job just enough. Jared Galinsky with the first out after getting caught between second and third. And then Cord Jackson, as well as Kenneth Jimenez to end off the inning. Apologies for the stoppage there. Urias Calvillo back of the mound. Fires a fastball to Josh Cortez in there for strike 1. Urias Calvillo misses outside. Cortez 0 for 1 on the day. Grounded out back in the second inning. And that's been the specialty for Calvillo so far this season. Getting a lot of weak contact. Honestly, the strikeout numbers that we've seen from him, again, not a compelling number with a guy that's so a pitchability guy. 5 strikeouts is the most on a season for him, and that was up against these Bears back in February. Evens it back up with a lofty swing there from Cortez. Cutter gets him out in front, even back at 2-2. Cortez looks at a fastball just on the inner half for strike 3. And right as I mentioned the lack of strikeouts this season for Calvillo, it gets Cortez looking for the first out of the inning. So back-to-back strikeouts, both of them looking between Maltby and Cortez to end off the 4th and start off the 5th. I'll see Cole Snido who'll take a hefty hack at that one. Another beautiful sleeping slider that finds its way out of the zone, but swung on and missed by Snido for strike 1. Second pitch misses low. Infield here today has been busy. 6 different ground outs, a couple of line outs across the middle, and an eventful day for the defensive side of South Mountain, but they've kept Phoenix College scoreless. The only real solidified opportunity was just an inning ago. A 1-out double for Manny Morales. Fiddler moving a third with a single up the middle, hit by a pitch from Billings, but a couple base running errors and a strikeout ended off the frame. Snido ground ball to short, and Waslewski strong throw on to first for the second out.
Daddy's home. Turn me up.
Now look at the bottom half of the order here, 9th spot rather. Kyle Casados, the shortstop, 0 for 1 on the day, also grounded out to Waslewski just 2 innings ago. See what Urias Calvillo can do here. Casados shows bunt there for a second, but pulls back it after Ritchie starts sprinting in from third base back. 2-0 ball game. Phoenix College with 3 hits compared to South Mountain's just 2. This one grounded foul on the third base line. Dominant hitting team that South Mountain has been this season, but consistently between 2nd and 3rd in the ACCAC. Struggling somewhat today, just 2 hits, but some unforced errors for Phoenix College today. 6 different walks. Casados flies this one into center field. Miranda under it, and he makes the play. Quick 1-2-3 inning for Urias Calvillo, the special ability, pitchability rather. Right-hander gets out of the frame. We'll head to the 6th. 2-0 Cougars. Top of the 6th, 2-0 in favor of the South Mountain Cougars. A lot of changes here defensively for Phoenix College. Let's go through them one by one. It started off on the mound will be Braden Romero, the right-handed freshman coming in for Reagan Wangler. Defensively, a lot of changes. From second base, coming into catcher is going to be Elias Fiddler. Cole Snido out of the game. Moving to second is going to be Isaac Lizarraga, the normal everyday second baseman. The entire outfield will be switched up to some extent. Infield will stay the same at third base and shortstop. Dylan Maltby at third, Cal Casados at short, Josh Cortez at first. Manny Morales will go from right to left as Jake Willerup will go to right, and Lucas Hinsey will come into the ballgame in center for Bryson Tamboni. So now new look defense. Manny Morales in left, Lucas Hinsey in center, Jake Willerup in right. Third to first, Dylan Maltby, Cal Casados, Isaac Lizarraga, and Josh Cortez. And the battery mates, Braden Romero and Elias Fiddler. A lot of changes going through for Phoenix College. Talking to Coach Scott Schneider, just trying to get everybody reps, different positions to kind of feel out who could be the best person for each different spot as we head to the final pieces of the year, final last 4 weeks of the regular season. Postseason play slated to start May 4th for regional play here in Division II. As the 0-2 from Romero skips in the dirt here to Dominic Chacon. Phoenix College trying to find their way back to the Division II World Series. Other teams in Scottsdale Community College, Chandler Gilbert, Mesa Community College, all teams trying to fight for that spot in the regional playoffs. Count moves the 1-2 here to Chacon. Chacon 0 for 1 on the day, struck out in the first, was hit by a pitch in the fourth, and Romero tries to go to the breaking ball but misses low. Count moves full. Goes breaking ball. Beautiful pitch front door. There onto the back foot of Dominic Chacon. That's a quick first out here for the righty. So back foot breaking ball finds its way, swung on and missed there from Chacon. It'll bring up Carter Ritchie. Ritchie on the day. A little squeaker ground ball right back up the middle in the second. Flew out to right in the fourth. First pitch is a ball. There's a righty up in the bullpen for the Bears. Nearing what would be the seventh pitcher of the ball game if Snyder chooses to go to another guy. And the fastball goes back to it there, does Romero, and finds on the outer half for strike one. 2-0 ball game here for South Mountain. Both runs came in this pass frame, none of which came through hits. 5 different walks and a sac fly. Brought home the first 2 runs of this ball game. Just 2 hits on the day, along with an error for South Mountain. Not a run tallied here for Phoenix College with 3 hits of their own. That one way inside. Ritchie has to jump his way out of the way on that one, and the count moves now to 3-1. Ritchie on the 3-1. Lets it go by, and it's in there for strike 2. Ritchie dropped the bat. Again, about headed on to first base. At the same situation for him back in the second inning in a full count, or excuse me, a 3-1 pitch rather. He thought that was out of the zone. Ended up finding his way on his single. Full count pitch, breaking ball on the dirt. And Ritchie now able to drop the gloves and on his way on to first. Romero, the 6th pitcher of the ball game for Phoenix College. A strong start for Carson Dunn. 2 2/3 innings of work. 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, just 1 walk. Didn't give up a run. Cade Cunningham came in relief for the starter and Dunn. Billings and Soto really struggled this past inning in the 5th. But Reagan Wangler was able to keep the damage at minimal and leave 2 runners stranded. Keep it what it is now to 2-0 ball game. A 1 pitch just barely reaches the outer black for strike 2. Apologies once more for the flashing that we've seen for some of our cameras today. The heat definitely making an issue for some of our technical abilities. Counted 0-2. Pitch here to Jared Galinsky, and is cut on and missed. Fastball beautifully placed way out in front of it was Galinsky. It's the second out of the inning, and both of which have come by strikeout. Carson Waslewski will now dig into the righty's batter's box. He's not been retired today. Had a single back in the second, then walked and scored this past inning in the fifth. Goes back to the fastball, and again, just looking straight at it. There's the righty and Waslewski. Romero has dominated that outer half here so far in his brief relief stint. Romero, it's his 8th appearance on the year. Does have 1 win to his total so far on the season. A 6.1 ERA, 6.1 innings of work. Has not given up a run this season. That one driven right into center field for a base hit. The runner in Ritchie will stay his way to second, and that tests the arm of Lucas Hinsey out in center. And the line keeps moving here for South Mountain, trying to tack on to their 2-0 lead. A single there, the first hit for South Mountain since the second inning. Last hit was from Carson Waslewski himself, a single right back up the middle. Tried to stretch the single and do a double, but Bryson Tamboni cut him down to end off the frame. 2 outs here, a big swing and a miss there from Jaden Miranda. And Romero, even after getting touched up a little bit, not backing down at all, and is going straight away here to Miranda. I'll check back at second. That one goes into center field as Lizarraga couldn't see the ball coming towards him. The throw from Hinsey will go into second, but both runners will advance. That could have been a dangerous one right there. Romero tried to do a spin move back to second. Lizarraga didn't even see the ball coming, nor did Ritchie. And it gets just the right of Ritchie, goes into center field, and now no force play at second or third. This one grounded just foul on third base line. Romero still ahead here 0-2. A spot to get out of this dangerous situation. South Mountain, after taking the lead this past frame, trying to add on to it here in the 6th. 0-2 pitch, cut on a miss in the dirt. Fiddler will tag out Miranda, and what a way to end it. Romero works around 2 runners on the base paths and strikes out the side here in the 6th. But at the bottom half of the frame, Phoenix College still trying to find their first run of the day. top of the lineup here for Phoenix College, the bottom half of the 6th inning. 2-0 in favor of South Mountain. Bears trying to crack the code on what has been Alex Urias-Calvillo this season. He's been dominant up against the Bears this season. Complete game, 1 run allowed in the first time these two teams faced off. A little less excellent outing the last time these two teams faced off. 4 innings pitched on his own. Gave up 2 earned runs, but still a solid start of his own. Danny Sotelo would be the better of the 2 starters, going 6 2/3 innings and giving up just 1 run. Carvillo will look at a little bit of a different lineup here in the top half of the frame. Lucas Hinsey, Jake Willerup, and Manny Morales. Hinsey, who came in this past frame, pops up into shallow center field. Cord Jackson goes back. And he calls out the center fielder Miranda and makes the play for the first out.
My side girl got a 5S with the screen crack. Still hit me back right away. Better not never hesitate. Don't come around think you're getting saved. Trying to show the dogs brighter days. Got a torch trying to light the way. Biting everybody, which is ironic, because your next album probably won't ever see the light of day.
So with 1 out, it'll bring up the now right fielder in Jake Willerup. Came in with a switch here for Manny Morales in the top half of this frame. Morales still in the 3 spot, moving over to left field. One-0 pitch. Misses inside. Apologies. It should be 1-1. The umpire started off with the 1-1 count on the inside. As this one is popped. Shallow right field. Chacon comes on. Ranges to the left a little bit and able to make the play for the second out. So Urias-Calvillo doing what he does best is now retired 6 straight here as we head to his 3rd inning of relief work, as this one changes that one up entirely. Manny Morales, ground ball into left field for a base hit, and it's a 2-out knock. Morales now 3 for 3 on the day. The only hitter on either side that has not been retired, for Phoenix College that has not been retired. Carson Waslewski with 2 singles and a walk of his own. Morales now 2 singles and a double to his name. Trying to maybe provide a spark for the middle half of this order that has really struggled outside of him. Stoppage of play here is a little bit of discussion. Coach Easton for South Mountain possibly talking about a change here. So yeah, I think they're looking to line up here. If there was a possible situation to where Phoenix College was batting out of order, that will not be the case. There are a lot of those changes. It's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different changes, make it 6 with the starting pitcher as well as pass frame. Easy to be able to get it mixed up. But Fiddler, now the catcher rather than the second baseman, will bat as he looks first pitch in there for strike 1. Calvillo, long look back at first and delivers, and he misses outside. They'll check back on Morales again. He's able to reach back safely. Go back to him again. Morales does have 4 stolen bases this season. Showed the speed more so on the defensive side. We saw a couple sliding plays today out there in right. Not too much on the base paths. They're keeping a long eye on him. As now Calvillo goes straight away to Fiddler, and he fouls it off. So a 9-1-2. When we come back in the top half of the 7th inning for South Mountain. Phoenix College trying to find their way back down by 2. Fiddler thought it might have been foul. He takes a second to get down the first base line. He's going to get in there safely. Fiddler, I think, might have thought for a second that it got off his foot, as Carter Ritchie is thinking the same thing. He's going out to the base umpire to confirm that setup, but looks like it's going to be the same. No ability at a challenge, and Fiddler's going to reach safely on infield single. A tough one there. Fiddler right in on the hands, just barely got it off. I think hesitated for a second and got himself down the first baseline, and no attempt to throw for Richie, who was playing deep down third baseline. A half swing there for Cade Bemis. He swings through for strike one. Bemis, the change here for Chris Billings at the designated hitter spot. Bemis this season has kind of been the backup catcher behind both Snido as well as Fiddler. He's on the 1-0. He lines this one into left field, and a diving play by Jared Galinsky. Galinsky lays out to save a run, possibly two, and it ends the frame here in the sixth. We're 2/3 the way through this one, and South Mountain's excellent defense has shown off so far. That's why they lead this one 2-0 instead of the final third. Phoenix College bats 7 in the bottom half, or excuse me, 8 rather, in the bottom half of the 5th inning. However, excuse me, 6th inning. However, unable to score a run. First pitch in there to Landon Argabright is in there for a strike. New pitcher here for Phoenix College is Matt Mayer. Mayer, number 24, the redshirt freshman. His 9th appearance of this season, 8 1/3 innings of work. A 6.48 ERA to his total. 9 strikeouts compared to 5 walks. That one in the dirt. Correct myself from earlier. 5 batters to the plate for Phoenix College. All coming with 2 outs, a big chance for the Bears. A single from Manny Morales, an infield single from Elias Fiddler, and Cade Bemis thought he had a lot of one out to left field, but a diving play by Jared Galinsky kept the game. A 2-0 lead for South Mountain. That one, they got away from him, got past them all the way to the wall. Very well could have brought 2 home, and with the speedy Bemis, could have been a setup to where he even have a 3-bagger to his name. Count now moves full. Mayer goes back to the fastball, misses in for ball 4. 2 walks today for the 9-hole hitter and Landon Argabright. And he'll switch out once more. This time rather than Brian Leon, they'll switch him out this time with Evan Vandervalk. Vandervalk will be the courtesy runner here for Argabright. Vandervalk has mainly been at the corner spots this season for South Mountain. And his first pitch, outside and a ball. Vandervalk with a big secondary lead out there. We'll see if the new changes for Phoenix College. A lot of pitchers in this ball game. Now the 7th of the day for the Bears. Trying to keep this game manageable. 1-0 just on the outer half for strike 1. Vandervalk this season out at first base is not trying to steal a bag. Long look there for Mayer. 1-1 catches to the corner as well. That's where both Romero as well as Mayer have really harped, is that outer half. South Mountain at times has done a good job being able to push it off and keeping those takes, but Bears keep going straight at it, and they miss there, does Mayer. That count moves to 2-2. Christensen at the plate. Long look at first that for Mayer. The runner is off as this one's grounded foul on the first baseline. Possible hit and run situation for Christensen. The count stays even. Fifth pitch of the AB. The runner is off once more as swinging there was Christensen late. I think he just did that half swing to keep himself alive. His hit run play still might have been on in that situation. Top of the 7th, 2-0 in favor of South Mountain. Both runs came home back in the 5th frame, none of which came on hits rather. 5 walks and a sac fly. 2-2 once more. Runner is off. Swing, little chopper. That will go just barely foul. Just down the first base line. And lefty and Christensen will have to come back once more. A lot of discussion here trying to get a new ball back to Mayer. I think the base umpire is talking a little bit, with the reliever and Mayer. I put a little spit on the ball or touching his tongue, then going straight back to the ball, making it sure it's not when he's on the mound, making sure it's before or after he's able to throw the pitch. Count still even at 2-2. Runner is off from first. That one way inside. The throw from Filler is airmailed into center field, and Vandervalk's going to head to third. Hinsey will just throw it straight into second. And a defensive meltdown right there for the Bears. Hit and run was on the last 4 pitches. Vandervalk still goes with it. Christensen doesn't swing as the ball almost found his chin. And Filler quickly trying to get the ball to second, ends up put into center field, and now South Mountain with a chance to add on to their lead. Runner just 90 feet away. Left side of the infield in. Right side of the infield is not, however. 3-2 pitch. Grounded foul down the first base line. Left side of the infield still in. Right side and Cortez and Lizarraga at their normal spots. 9th pitch of the AB coming here from Mayer. That one just misses low for ball 4. Professional at bat right there from Sam Christensen. He's able to draw the full count walk. Still nobody out here in the 7th. We're bringing up the second baseman in Cord Jackson. Jackson, the lone swinging RBI. Of course, the walk from Christensen brought home a run in the 5th, but a sac fly just a batter later, and Jackson brought home the second run of the day. 0-1 pitch, flared into center field. Coming on is Cincy. He's able to make the play. Vandervalk tagging up from third, and the throw is going to be way late. Cut off by Cortez. And once again, Cord Jackson able to bring in a runner, but it looks like they're going to say he left early. Mayer came back to the mound. Hasn't fully come back to the mound yet. Fiddler threw to third to Maltby. I think they have to do an official appeal here. Well, make sure they can get the out. I think we'll end up just calling him out. There's no official appeal that's been actually done yet. I guess they're going to keep going with it. Runner's out. Vandervalk apparently left early. No actual appeal has happened, and they'll go with the pitch. By the way, it'll be the second out of the inning. I'll have to go back to it. Maybe different rules here. In the ACCAC, majority of times have to actually appeal over to third. Go to the rubbers, take a step off, then throw to third. They don't do that, but the umpires still call them out. I'll end up bringing up Kenneth Jimenez, so it ends up being a kind of unofficial setup for a double play there as Jackson flies out. Jimenez here looks at a fastball, strong throw from Fiddler, gets away from Lizarraga at second, and one stolen base leads into two for the runner in Christensen. Or excuse me, yes, for the runner in Christensen, and he'll head to third. Down at 2-1. They're still at the mound working out of the stretch. That was the fastball in the dirt. Beautiful attempt there just to keep it in front of him. It was Elias Fiddler behind home plate. And he keeps it at just a 2-0 ball game. So an odd setup in this one. 2 walks to start off the frame. And we thought that Vandervalk, who had moved to third on an airmail from Elias Fiddler into center field, trying to take him down at second, as that one is in the dirt once more for ball 4. And Schneider coming out just for a second to talk to his reliever. There's a righty up in the pen, as well as a lefty to his name as well. Looks like that's going to be the day for Mayer. 7th pitching change of the day for the Bears. Schneider will take the ball out of the hands of Mayer, and once we come back, we'll introduce you to the new reliever. Number 35, Hitaro Hayashi is the new pitcher here for Phoenix College. The 8th of the day for the Bears. Been bullpen all day long. Longest outing. The starter and Carson done 2 2/3 innings of work. Cunningham, Billings, Soto, Wangler, Romero, Mayer, and now Hayashi, and dealing with a tough spot here with runners on the corners and 2 outs. And we'll look at the 4 spot in Dominic Chacon. Runner is off from first. Filler will throw down. Runner and Jimenez is caught between first and second. As a run will score, Jimenez will be tagged out. And it looks like they'll take the out for a run. And it makes it 3-0 in favor of South Mountain. We'll head to the bottom half of the 7th. A Wacky top of the half of the frame. We'll see if Phoenix College can find some bats in the bottom half. Three nothing Cougars as we head to the bottom half of the 7th inning. 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Bears. A part of the order, the bottom third, which has really struggled so far here today. His first pitch from Calvillo misses into Dylan Maltby. Combined 0 for 8 from 6, 7, 8, and 9 today for the Bears. 4 ground outs, a line out, a fly out, and 2 strikeouts. As Urias Calvillo has come in here in relief for the starter in Raul Gareza and has been doing the job that has been needed. Has worked around a couple players in the base paths, but has gotten through the inning scoreless, and he'll get another ground out here right over to Carter Ritchie for a quick out. Garzar started off the day with 3 innings to his name. Gave up 2 hits. Did not find a strikeout for a guy that is so fastball heavy and really mixing at the high 80s mark. And Urias Calvillo, who has found ways to get wins for South Mountain this season. Kind of an odd pitcher to work with. Sidearm action, 3/4 action. And you mess with the really sweeping slide of the add to his name. Phoenix College has not been able to crack the code so far this year. Grounded over to short. Going to be a long throw for Waslewski on the run. Cortez, it gets the way from the first baseman in Christensen. And Cortez will reach safely here with 1 out. They'll end up calling that error on Waslewski. A tough one at that. It was a high chopper. That was hard to read for the shortstop in Waslewski, and the throw just barely up the line. Now keeps a runner on here for the Bears. Bringing up Isaac Lizarraga. Second error of the day for South Mountain. 4 between these 2 teams here today. And I bring up Isaac Lizarraga. So Lizarraga will come into the spot for Cole Snido. Rather than switching out of the catcher's position, he'll go out to second earlier defensively, back in the 6th frame as Fiddler went to the catcher's spot. 0-1 pitch. And there for strike 2. Nobody up and moving for, honestly, the first time today we've seen for either side in the bullpen. I guess Calvillo trying to keep the stranglehold of this game as he'll check back at first. Cougars trying to make it 9 of 10. They've been one of those dominant teams and hot teams inside of the ACCAC. And Calvillo gets his 3rd strikeout of the day, all of which now have been looking.
Don't worry.
Back-to-back strikeouts to end off the 4th and start off the 5th. Both of which looking to Maltby and Cortez, and now gets Lizarraga looking on a fastball just on the outer half. Must have been thinking about something else. First pitch now to Casados. This is outside in the ball. Top of the lineup due up here for Lucas Hinsey. The Bears can extend this inning with a runner on first and 2 outs. So check back on Cortez once more. As his shorts have been getting pretty dirty here today. 4 or 5 dives back to the bag. A couple kind of split attempts over there at first to dig up a couple balls. 1-0 pitch is grounded down the third base line and past the glove of Carter Ritchie and into the corner. Long run here for Cortez. He'll stop at third as a throw comes in from Galinsky. He's going to stop the bag. It'll come home, and it'll be out by about 20 feet. What was going on there? Cortez comes around third, hesitates for a second, and then tries to take the bag at home, and the relay from Galinsky and Waslewski guns him down about 25 feet in front of the bag. An opportunity once more wasted for the Bears, and we'll head to the 8th. South Mountain with a 3-0 lead.
Nothing new under the sun.
Top of the 8th, Hitaro Hayashi back in the mound for a 2nd inning of relief here for the Bears. It was a wacky 7th inning. South Mountain adds on a run and will look to continue it here as they look to the heart of their order now. Dominic Chacon will come back to the righty's batter's box. The inning ended with Kenneth Jimenez trying to steal second. It was a 1st and 3rd situation with Jimenez at first. Over at third was Sam Christensen. A strong throw from Fiddler behind home plate had Jimenez caught between 1st and 2nd, but he stayed in the rundown long enough to allow Christensen to sprint home and just barely touched home plate, maybe a second or two before Jimenez was tagged down. Chacon chops this one foul. Been a lot of unforced errors today for Phoenix College. The 2 runs given up in the 5th inning on 5 different walks and a sac fly. The 7th inning was much the same. 3 different walks and a couple of errors. Fiddler behind home plate had a air-mailed ball trying to scorch down the runner, and Christensen at second. A couple other cut downs when we saw Vandervalk, who ended up leaving first a little bit too, or excuse me, leaving third a little bit too early on a sac fly attempt. It hasn't been your most characteristic or experienced way to be able to bring home a couple runs, but South Mountain's been doing the job ahead here 3-0. So another walk. Brings up Carter Ritchie. First pitch to Ritchie is swung on and missed. Fastball on the corner, and Ritchie swung straight through it. 10 walks today for Phoenix College pitchers. It's the 8th pitcher of the day, and very likely could see a 9th if Hayashi can not get through the next 3 innings of work. Hayashi ahead here 0-2. Trying to strike down the South Mountain home run hitter as that one goes in the dirt. Ritchie comparatively quiet today to his normal performances up against Phoenix College. Is 1 for 2, had a ground ball single up the middle back in the 2nd, then a walk this 2 frames ago back in the 6th. Not the multi-extra base hit nights that we saw in the first 3 games from Ritchie. Long look back at first. 2-2 pitch from Hayashi. Breaking ball sent right back up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Holding up the brakes at second is Chacon. And back-to-back base runners here for South Mountain. A chance to add on to their 3-0 lead. Phoenix College, we mentioned the unforced errors. We saw it just this past inning. A chance to bring home a run. Kyle Casados. A hard ground ball in the third base line was getting into the corner, and Jared Galinsky was able to get it in to seem like Josh Cortez was going to hold up at third. There's no stop sign zone as this one is bunted right down the third base line, and a beautiful throw from Hayashi to cut down the runner in Galinsky. Zach Button does the job for the Cougars. Now the infield will be in for the Bears with 2 runners in scoring position. Now see a change here for the Cougars. Brian Leone will now come in for Carson Waslewski. Infield in, outfield playing pretty deep here with 2 runners in scoring position. First pitch from Hayashi misses outside in the ball. Morales in left, now taking a couple steps in. Hinsey also stand up, if not a couple steps deeper out there in center, and Willer up in right in his normal spot. 1-0 pitch in the dirt. Fiddler keeps in front of him. The count moves to 2-0. Leone came into the ballgame earlier as a courtesy runner for Argabright. Was able to come around and score back in the 5th inning. Now gets a chance to put the bat to the ball and drive home a couple runs. 2-0, beautifully placed in the corner for strike 1. Fastball misses upstairs, and Hayashi in jeopardy here of walking the bases loaded. Riding now up in the bullpen for the Bears. Still trying to hold on to just a 3-run deficit, still manageable at this point. South Mountain trying to open it up here in the 8th. 3-1 pitch, grounded foul. Two runners scoring position. Full count pitch here to the pinch hitter and Leone. Laced into right center field. Hinsey going back into the gap, and he makes the play. The runner from third will come home and score as Ritchie will head to third. An athletic play nonetheless for Hinsey on the run to be able to get that one into the gap. It's a much-needed second out, but a job is done by Leon, and it's 4-0 Cougars. The run comes in to score, which is Kyle Alexander, who came into the ballgame for Dominic Chicone. It's here with 2 outs. Ground ball over to short. Casados, long throw is high, but Cortez able to reach out and make the play for the final out. South Mountain tacks on another. Just 4 hits in the ballgame for the Cougars. They lead this one by the same margin, 4-0, as we head to the bottom half of the 8th. Top of the lineup due up here for Phoenix College in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Lucas Hinsey, Jake Willerup, and Manny Morales at the moment. The top 3 to start it off here in this frame. Hinsey takes a fastball way inside. Just a good little dance to get out of the way of that one. That's inside for ball 1. A couple defensive changes after the switches this past inning. Out at short is Brian Leon. I believe that Kyle Alexander has now moved to right. Hinsey grounds this one over to second, booted away by the second baseman in Jackson, and he can't move it on to first in time. Want to correct myself there. Jaden Miranda now out at second. Out in center field is Brandon Coble. So a couple changes here. Defensively working around for Coach Easton's side. Miranda moving in from center field towards second base, boots a ball, and now there's a runner on the base paths here early in this 8th inning. I'll check back on Hinsey. This season, Hinsey has tested his luck well. 6 stolen bases compared to 2 times he's been caught. That one grounded just barely fouled in third base line. Willerup flew out to right back in the 6th inning. So far on this season, hitting .313. The team's second best, 28 RBI. You need a spark to find some offense. This is the point you got to do it. That's part of your order. Due up with a runner on. And Phoenix College, who's still been able to string 6 hits together today, more so than the 4 that South Mountain's been able to put onto their tally. Have still not been able to bring a runner around. 2-1 will have to wait, and we'll check on Hinsey once more. It's a quick movement from Calvillo at the mound. Looks kind of behind him when he checks on the runner. Arched over, making sure he hides the ball really well. 2-1 pitch, popped up on the infield. Miranda comes in, and he makes the play. Willerup shaking his head as he heads back to the dugout. Knew he had his pitch over the heart of the plate, but just got underneath it. And he'll hand it off to Manny Morales behind him. Manny Morales, the only player today that has not been retired for either side. Waslewski taken out this past inning, which is an odd one to look at for Coach Easton. They brought in Brian Leon to come through with a sac fly. But Morales, as he takes a first pitch fastball, on the outer half for strike one. 3 for 3 on the day with 2 singles and a double. I'll check back on Hinsey again. And Hinsey, after coming to the ball game late, is definitely not looking like it with the pants and about half of the jersey entirely soaked in dirt. He'll head off. Beautiful move there from Hinsey. Strong throw is going to go into right center field. Hinsey will head to third. And they're going to call it on hitter's interference, rather. A really late call from the home plate umpire. Waited until the throw was all the way into right center field. And Manny Morales is going to be caught down. Morales on the swing, the follow through coming towards it, put his body a little bit over home plate, and it ended up obstructing Landon Argabright in his throw on to second, so it'll move Hinsey back to first. And again, another costly mistake gives away an opportunity for the Bears. I'll bring up Elias Fiddler. That's first pitch fastball misses low. That's been the story of the day. This past inning, Josh Cortez heading around third. Thought he would get the stop sign. Didn't know if there was some miscommunication between Cody Brassfield at third as well as Cortez. Whatever happened, it's about 25 feet short of home plate when he was cut down. Ended up being an opportunity to bring home a run, which wasn't there. A couple unforced errors as well, the 5th and the 7th, 2 of the 3 innings that the Cougars have been able to score a run. They didn't even put a hit up in those innings. 5 walks in the 5th, another 3 in the 7th, another one in the 8th. Mine for a total of 10 walks today between a long range, really stretched out Phoenix College bullpen. 3-0 pitch misses low, and Calvillo with his first walk of the day. It's actually the first walk for either pitcher today for the Cougars. Now leads with 2 runners on and 2 outs. I'll bring up Cade Bemis, first pitch. A little cut action that is in there for strike one. Bemis came back into the ball game in the 6th inning. Defensively, originally a change for Elias Fiddler, and then Bemis came in for Chris Billings, the designated hitter spot. Calvillo ahead here 0-2. 3rd straight inning, and he's had to deal with a runner in scoring position. Calvillo trying to get out of the frame, still scoreless. This one popped up, and it's going to go foul. Christensen was chasing after it, but it ends up finding its way out of the ballpark. And the count will stay at 0-2. Runner at second is Hinsey. Fiddler at first. 0-2 pitch. Half swing right back to the mound. Calvillo takes a couple seconds, and he throws on to first in time. Alex Urias Calvillo working out of jams has been his game this season, and he's doing it again here in relief. We'll head to the 9th. Phoenix College struggling to find offensive momentum, down by 4. Ninth pitcher of the ball game here in the top half of the ninth for Phoenix College. It'll be Eddie Torres, the right-hander coming in here, trying to keep this at a 4-0 ball game. Phoenix College has out-hit the Cougars so far here today, but the pitching has been the struggle. Combined 10 walks for the 8 pitchers so far for the Bears. First pitch, fastball in there for strike one. Much like Calvillo, Torres kind of a sidearm whipper that just slots that ball not quite 3/4, 2/3 the way through the zone, and works at east-west movement as that one's shot foul. Gonna mix a fastball with a curveball grip that really out of that side-winding action is gonna give more east-west action like a slider. And he's worked it so far. Ahead here now, playing Argabright. That one way outside. Fiddler has to go diving after it. And maybe a waste pitch to set up Argabright here in the 1-2. Long way to the mound. Out of the stretch, the 1-2 from Torres. Breaking ball in there for strike three. Caught Argabright sleeping out there in the righty's batter's box. And a quick first out here for the reliever and Torres. First strikeout offensively for the Cougars since the 6th inning. It was a strong 6th inning for Braden Romero when he struck out the side. The best relief outing we've seen from the 9 so far today. Carson Dunn was the starter, went 2 2/3 inning of his own work. With a switch between Billings, Soto, and Wangler in the 5th would kind of be the telling toll of the walks that would come afterwards as Torres misses outside on the fastball. We're back to the top of the lineup here for the Cougars. Sam Christensen 0 for 2 on the day, but has on his way on base with 2 walks. Gets way out in front of that one and chops it straight back onto home plate. Count even back at 1-1. Torres this season, his 15th appearance on the year. 13 innings of work with a 4.15 ERA. This one popped up and into the netting and out of play. Infield playing Christensen, really far pull side, a wide open right center gap if Christensen wants to go there. 1-2 pitch, tries to go back door there, but can't quite fully get onto it. Two-two, fastball grounded right back up the middle. Long run for Casados and he boots it. Ball goes into center field. It's the 3rd error of the day for the Bears. It's been a tough surface to be able to play on. A couple odd hops back up the middle, but a scorcher into the dirt from Christensen. Ends up getting him on to first with 1 out. 6th combined error between the two teams here today. A lot of defensive miscues, a lot of kind of just odd plays, odd mistakes for both sides today. As one out in front was Jackson, chopped over to Torres. He'll flip it onto first. A high arching throw that finds its way into the glove of Cortez at the bag. And there's 2 down. Christensen will head to second. And now we'll look at the 3 spot as Kenneth Jimenez will come out. Torres will need new balls. The plate umpire looked at it, saw a couple scuffles. Now look for a new rock to throw here. Playing pull side here is Casados at short. The first pitch has a breaking ball in there for strike 1. Jimenez today 0 for 2. Let's also have 2 walks to his name, 1 back in the first, as well as 1 in the 7th. Breaking ball goes front door, and he finds it in there for strike 2. Counted 0-2. Torres trying to move it to the bottom half of the 9th. This one flared, shallow into right field. Lizarraga coming on, diving and attempting, it gets past his glove. Coming around third and scoring is going to be Christensen, as there's no chance for a throw from Willerup. And that's kind of been the day for Phoenix College. Torres, a great job of getting him out in front, but finds it into no man's land. And the duck stort falls, and it makes it 5-0 Cougars. Jimenez reaches first, his first hit of the day, as Torres will go back straight away to Kyle Alexander here, who switched into the ball game this past inning for Dominic Chacon. There were 6, 7, and 8. Dylan Maltby, Josh Cortez, and Isaac Lizarraga due up bottom half of the 9th. We need a lot of help for a group that has still not found a hit outside of Kyle Casados in the bottom half of the order. Torres ahead here 0-2. Finally end this 9th frame, and he got him swinging. Second strikeout here in the 9th for Torres, and it'll head the final inning. Phoenix College, 3 outs to their name remaining. Got to score 5 to keep this one going. We'll see if they can do that when we come back. Last chance to the bottom of the ninth here for Phoenix College. Down by 5. Be 6, 7, 8. Dylan Maltby, Josh Cortez, and Isaac Lizarraga do a new pitch into the ball game for the Cougars. A fastball right over the heart of the plate is looked at by Maltby. Matt Lytle, the new pitcher for the Cougars. The sophomore hasn't pitched in almost a month coming into this matchup. Last pitch back on March 14th up against Western Nebraska Community College. Does have experience up against PC. Had an inning on March 8th. Gave up 1 run and had 3 strikeouts to his name. Was flaring back to the fastball, but unable to get Maltby to chase at it. One-two pitch. Breaking ball just low. Maltby, beautiful take there to allow that one to go by. And counts back even at 2-2. Lytle back to the mound quickly, and he gets the sword. Lytle goes up the ladder with the fastball, and Maltby unable to hold up. And it's quick first out here in the night. Two outs remaining here for Phoenix College, down by 5. And they'll bring out the first baseman, Josh Cortez. First pitch, a breaking ball. This is up and in for ball 1. Base umpire will call time quickly. It looks like raining towards something. The man that's on deck. I'm not quite sure what the call is. Isaac Lizarraga is on deck. Okay. So the issue ends up being a golf cart is sitting just past the stands right into the third base dugout, and it looks like the sun is glaring off the glass and is going straight into the eyes of the base umpire down the first base line. So they ask him to move back. Not sure I've thought of that one today. A glare from a golf cart, probably 25 years old, and that ends up being an infraction here. 2-0 pitch. This is outside for ball 3. Infield playing a little more pull side to Cortez here. Carter Ritchie at third. 2 to 3 steps near the bag at third. And back goes the fastball. There does Lytle for strike 1. Three-one pitch. Fastball once more, but misses outside, and Cortez draws the walk. These two teams will match up tomorrow, same time, out at South Mountain Community College. 3 p.m. start time between these two. Phoenix College needs to come back here in this one all the way and win tomorrow to be able to knot up the season series. 4 games so far between these two. South Mountain has won 3 of them. Hoping to close the door here on that 4th one. A 1 pitch driven right into center field. Right into the glove of Alexander in center for the out. Correct myself, Brian Leone out in center. Leone has switched up with Alexander, who's now in right.
Daddy's home.
Phoenix College down to their final out. So bring up Kyle Casados. His first breaking ball is in there for strike 1. Scorcher out into center there from Lizarraga. Not too lucky of a day for Phoenix College. Seemed like that's kind of been the story of the day. A couple line shots that we've seen that have just barely stayed up for outfielders to play. A couple odd hops on a skippy type infield to an extent. 1-1 misses inside from Lytle. After this midweek series, South Mountain will start the weekend at home, a doubleheader up against Eastern Arizona on Saturday. Phoenix College We'll split a home and home with Mesa. A spot to where two teams that are trying to battle it out in the bottom half of the ACCAC. But more implications there of who's going to be able to make the regional semifinals and finals in Division II race. 2-2 pitch. Fouled off once more. The Bears down to their final strike. Starter and Raul Guerrezar, 3 innings of work. Urias Calvillo, 5 innings on the back end. And Lytle trying to shut the door. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, check swing. And Casados was able to hold up. Really good late break there from Lytle. The count now moves full. Runner will be off at first. Righty and Lytle hasn't pitched in almost a month. And trying to shut the door here in the ninth. 3-2 pitch. Fastball in the dirt. Gets away from the catcher in Argabright. Cortez thought about going to third, but he'll stop at the bag at second. And it'll just be a walk for Casados to keep this inning going.
I'm just coasting, drop the top and roll straight. SMVCC, AO5 is the ghost stack. Ain't no place that I'd rather be than the BIG.
Nothing too dangerous for the Cougars here, but still a chance, still some life here for Phoenix College. 5 runs of their own, still with just 1 out to give. Lucas Hinsey, the top of the order. Lytle goes back to the fastball. And again, misses up and out. Just past the 2.5-hour mark on this one. Lytle trying to shut the door here in game 1 of this midweek series. He misses upstairs. The fastball is the dominant pitch. Got to be touching, looking at the radar gun behind, really 5 rows in front of me. Looks like he's hitting high 80s, low 90s to work with. Last one, 91 miles an hour on that fastball. 2-0. Fastball over the heart of the plate, and he hits it at 91 again. Runners at first and second. Lucas Hinsey 0 for 2 on the day, coming in back in the 5th as a pinch hitter, trying to keep this game going. Lines that one down the right field line, but it's going to slice foul. Hinsey and the Bears once again down to their final strike. South Mountain hoping to clinch the season series right here. Matthew Lytle trying to finish this one off and get the close. 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Matthew Lytle works around 2 runners and ends off the day. South Mountain with their 4th win of this season over Phoenix College. This one, a complete game shutout on the end of the 3 pitchers today for the South Mountain Cougars. Final score 5-0 in favor of South Mountain. Oddly enough, the starter in Raul Guerrezar will not get the win. Urias Calvillo will get his 2nd win of the season over Phoenix College, this time in relief. 5 innings of work, did not allow an earned run. Gave up 5 hits as well as a walk and a hit by a pitch with only 3 strikeouts, but continually found ways to leave runners on the base paths. My number is correct. It's 9 different runners left on base today for Phoenix College. And again, missed opportunities galore today for the Bears. And they now fall to 20-22 on this season. South Mountain on the other end looks to hope to continue their recent hot ways. They've been one of the most dominant teams inside of the ACCAC, and with the win today, they moved to 34-11 on the year. Of course, this game, although between 2 teams inside of the ACCAC, not a conference matchup between these 2, so nothing to help them out on the edge to try to get over Pima College. But right where they need to be, South Mountain now has won 9 of their last 10, and you make that overall now 11 of their last 13. One of the hottest teams, maybe outside of Central Arizona in this conference. And they find another win on the road here today up against the Phoenix College Bears. The loss today, I believe, will be set up to go to Chris Billings. It will. Chris Billings is 1/3 of an inning back in that 5th frame. Did not find his way to retire himself one out. Ended up getting some help on a pickback play to second base. Gave up 2 earned runs. Didn't allow a hit. Didn't have a strikeout to his total. 3 walks to his name. And that 5th inning, although just giving up 2 runs, was kind of the story of the day for Phoenix College. Combined 5 walks in that one, plus a sac fly from Core Jackson. Brought home 2 runs. The Cougars add 1 more in each of the 7th, 8th, and 9th and shut it down with Matt Lighthole, who gets the close here this afternoon. That'll wrap it up here on the Phoenix College YouTube page. Make sure to stay tuned this weekend. Weekend matchup between the Phoenix College Bears and the Mesa Community College Thunderbirds. For everybody here for Phoenix College, I've been Jaden Taylor, wishing you a wonderful rest of your evening.
Bye.